Welcome to Have You Heard, where a couple of friends speak on a game they have played like a couple of
famous accent.
Yeah, famous accent. So what happened was this. We decided to separate the discussions from the actual video, just to cut down on time, make this more of a separated thing because, I don't know, it just seems cleaner to do so.
Yeah, it makes the videos cleaner. People can get the stuff that they may want more than the other, if they decide they do.
Yeah, they want more. That, and it kind of lets us upload a little bit more stuff, so whatever. We were going to have a discussion for Stranglehold, but as we mentioned, it's a famously very Chinese game, and let's just say somebody had a few too much to drink. Put up the picture of the bottles. We won't say who. Somebody started doing a very famous accent. They're known for it, really. And if you ever watched Star Wars Episode 1, you know what I mean by a famous accent. So that can't come out. That can't come out ever. We're just going to keep that buried,
Onto a notably less, but not completely un-Asian game. Tau Firewarrior.
So Asian. Yeah, so Tau Firewarrior. What a game. I am a big Warhammer nerd. I fucking love Warhammer. As Blayne knows, I never stop talking about it.
It's a daily occurrence. Like, actually daily
occurrence. It's a daily occurrence. It's a daily occurrence when I'm bringing something up. So I wanted to play Fireworks. I played it as a kid. I got it on the PS2, and it was a piece of shit then. And I think what's very interesting is that when you're a kid, you don't realize when a game is shitty. You just think it's hard. You're just like, wow, this must be a grown-up game. I realized it was shitty when I was a kid.
Oh, was that bad? You just knew?
Dude, I realized it. I was like, this is bad. This is not a good game.
So my parents got me an Xbox 360, maybe 2007, I think. It had been out for just a little bit, just long enough for it to be exciting. And they had given me a copy of Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Sonic 06. Those were the two games I had for my Xbox 360. And boy, howdy, did 10-year-old me, whatever, I don't know, just not comprehend that Sonic 06 was a massive piece of shit.
It's haunting. I just remember getting into Fire Warrior, and I think getting stuck because, as I mentioned in the video, the audio mixing on that is terrible. Now imagine that coming from a 2005 probably is when I got it, or 2004 TV, aux cables and everything.
Yo.
You're trying to listen for the quietest sound of push the button. You're not going to hear it. You're not going to fucking hear it.
You can't hear, any of that dialogue over just the rest of the game. Which, actually, no, I should say that. No, you can hear the enemy dialogue. They're constant screaming and call-outs.
It's quiet.
Yeah. But, dude, your Tau guys would start talking to you, no fucking idea what's going on. Just
no clue what they're saying. That and a lot of the weird stuff in it, the buttons you have to push to do stuff do not look like buttons. They look like regular lights that you would see in any other game.
Yeah, especially
they
those
look
bunkers in the first couple missions.
Yeah, they look like auxiliary lights in Halo. And speaking of Halo, this game 100% tried to rip Halo, almost one for one, with the way it's laid out and everything. Color-coded enemies, the 2-weapon system. It just did it all worse, really.
Every time I look at that game, it looks like Republic Commando to me, so I can't shake that. This would have come out before Republic Commando, right? This was 2002 or 3?
2003, because 2004 is when Halo 2 came out, I think.
I believe you're right.
It was the year before Halo 2. I know that for sure. And I'm pretty sure Halo 2 came out November 2004. So this would have been 2003. And then Halo Combat Evolved came out 2001.
Does the video cover the dev time?
No, I don't think we had anything about how long it took them. It was not long, I think. Window? I don't think it had to have been a year, maybe. I don't remember seeing anything too specific about it where they were like, oh yeah, we kind of got fucked and had to do it really quick. The game is it's just such a weird in-between a lot of stuff. It's crazy that the game itself being the kind of rail shooter esque feel. Like it's supposed to be one of those early 2000s shoot 'em up games, where you're shooting, run around shooting, but there's no vehicle levels or a turret section.
No, I mean those were popular, but those also required different development. It was easy, like they can make various hallways and give you.
It just kind of felt like
and tell you to make it
a weird transition between a Doom game, like original Doom, and a modern FPS. Because you still had to go around and collect keys for some fucking reason. That drove me nuts.
Yeah, that felt very out of place.
So weird. And then the magic 3 key door.
The era hadn't magically moved away from that yet, but
yeah,
in 2003 was.
I think that the bringing it back to the actual look of the game, it looks okay. I think it's fine. I think the direction of it is fine. Stuff looks like how it should look in Warhammer. I'm okay with that. They're small things that are weird. The Raptor chapter, like I mentioned, being blue in the video, odd because they're green. They're supposed to be Spec Ops green. It's just weird. It's just small little things where it's just peculiar. It's why did they do that?
No, they had the blue that reminded me of the Twins Legion.
Oh, the Alpha Legion?
Yeah, Alpha Legion, yeah.
And what I think sucks about this game is that it had such a creative story and enemy type. I could not see nowadays with how Games Workshop has set up their kind of future Warhammer stuff. I cannot see a world where you're
talking about the 500 Worlds thing going on.
Yeah, but the 500 World thing's going on. Well, just really new games in general. Look at all the games that GW puts out. You are Imperium. You're not Xenos. You're never playing Aliens ever.
Oh yeah, everything outside of Kill Team and 40K.
Yeah, outside of the actual tabletop. I'm talking about just games.
But everything else, all the narrative stuff. Sorry.
I'm talking about just
their
games.
digital front as well.
Yeah, their digital front is you are Marines. And you are Ultramarines.
With that.
Yeah, you're Ultramarines, and then the Guard is Cadian. Congrats, that's it. They're kind of moving towards really just that. I mean, there's been some Krieg stuff that's coming out and whatnot, but a lot of the flavor that was in that early time. Yeah. Because in that game, it's nuts. You're getting Armageddon Steel Legion as the Imperial Guard. You have Tempestus Scions that you fight in space, or some kind of variant of them, I think. You get fucking Raptors being the main Space Marine force you fight. And then for Chaos, you're fighting Word Bearers. Fucking Word Bearers are never the main anything. They're always in the background doing stupid shit. They're never on the front lines fighting like
bearing
that.
Words.
Yeah, bearing words. So it's just peculiar. It's just such a neat little thing where I don't think that'll ever happen in a new game. In a new game,
the space and the names that are relevant.
Yeah. You would be playing either as a Ultramarine, like Space Marine 2, or you're playing as a fucking regular guardsman, like in Dark Tide, and you're fighting just fucking normal enemies, basically. You're fighting the bad guys.
I really need some games that aren't Mankind.
Yeah, it would be cool.
You get the Blood, Teeth, and Shooters or whatever. That thing's very charming. I think that's exactly what an orc game needs to be. There is that orc vehicle game that
Speed
I can't
Freaks.
remember the name of. Those are orcs too, right?
Yep. Those are orcs as well.
Haven't had the chance to play it, but same idea. That's what that needs to be. I don't know what a Necron's game
I don't think you could.
looks like.
I don't think you could.
But I'd show up for that.
I think it'd have to. Well,
the most I think of is you could play that. What's that AdMech?
Well, see, now funny
shooter.
that you mentioned that. In the new one, because they're making a second one, you are able to be playing as Necrons. So you will be playing as Necrons.
Okay. That was my thought. Is I think a Necrons work for that.
In the first game, you're breaking into the Necron house. In the second game, you're defending the Necron house.
Oh, so you're playing as the Necrons?
Yeah, you're playing as the Necrons in the second one.
Oh,
where you're get off my lawn.
Okay.
What are you guys doing here?
But to bring the point full circle, somebody could make a kick-ass fucking Tau game.
I think they could do. I think fucking Fat Shark could make a really good remake.
Somebody could make a sick
Fire Warrior. You kidding me? Those guns would be so cool. That'd be awesome. Speaking of the guns,
I don't know if you're familiar, but you can get Night Dive on it. Night Dive's been
Night Dive?
A lot. They've had not. It's not the only thing they do, but they've been making a lot of really good remasters and remakes. It's admittedly stuff a bit older than Fire Warrior, but they're competent enough.
I mean, Fire Warrior is 25 years old at this point. Right, 20.
I'm talking about stuff from the 90s.
23
is what a lot of that stuff.
I mean,
but nevertheless,
I think it looks like a 90s game.
Set, they have it. It feels like at this point.
You might be able to trick them.
We're that old.
We are that old. Boomer shooters are now just 90s shooters. It's crazy. But talking about the guns.
Yes.
Weird. There's just an M16.
And that first gun sucked.
That first gun's bad. The regular
first
pulse rifle.
Pulse rifle, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing sucked.
I don't know why the aiming in that game is made the way it is. It feels so odd because I know that whenever you're building a game, usually you're starting with the mechanics first. And if you're building an FPS, it feels odd to have the FPS be the worst part of it, where it's like the aiming is horrendous. The auto aiming is the only way to play the game. But don't worry, the bullet spread on every gun is like the size of a dinner plate.
Your crosshair's a suggestion.
Yeah, it is just to show you which direction your gun might be pointing sometimes. The auto aim really fucks it up because the auto aim doesn't follow the reticle, I don't think. It just locks onto the enemy. It's just weird. It's just such a weird experience to play. I don't think I'd recommend buying the game if you're not a big Tau fan either. If you're not a big Tau fan, you can kind of just skip this one.
Yeah, because I mean, unless you like those cool moments of look how cool Tau are, the story's not anything.
No,
like
the story's insane.
It's not delivered well.
It's not delivered well. It's crazy. You are just a guy. There's no special chosen one prophecy.
The implications are crazy. I will say that. Yeah, the implications.
And it's crazier if you actually read the book,
The story.
because this game did get a book. Just called Fire Warrior, and in the book it is more insane. The guy you play as Kais, or as his name in the book is Tau Sha Tau Kais, because I guess I learned this about the naming convention in the Tau, is you have your rank first in the military, then you have the planet you were born on, and then you have your name. So that's how someone refers to you if they're addressing you formally. They'd go rank, planet, name. It's kind of one
rank. Planet name is crazy.
Weird, right?
Well, and I guess that's maybe, I don't know if that's... Does that appear, like, anywhere else in the Warhammer stuff?
Okay, so there are only, like, 3 Tau books, and I have not read them.
Oh, well, no, I mean more so for other species.
Other species?
Because, not to, like...
No, not really. Nobody else... I can't think of anybody else that does that. Aside from...
not to lay it at the feet of, the Asian influences, but that name structure does kind of remind me of how, like Japanese name structures are.
I don't think anybody else does it. The Eldar might.
It's definitely a Warhammer version of it.
I know that the Eldar might, because I know there's a guy named Azerman who leads the Azeryani from the planet Azur. So I don't know if they do the same thing or it's just fucking stupid naming conventions.
Oh my god, so if he ever was had a pinball machine and hit a high score, he could just put that AAA in the high score thing default.
Yeah, dude, he could just fucking put it straight in.
Good to go.
Boom, boom, boom. Easy. And he would get high score.
Done. You would get high score?
Yeah, because he's a fucking nerd. But back to fucking Kais, dude. Our boy Kais.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
He's a demon on the stick. He is an absolute demon in the book. Our next game, I'm not going to say what it is, but much like the protagonist in our next game that we're reviewing, Kais gets huge dopamine rushes when he murders people. And it's mentioned in the book. And his boss, watching him do it, it goes, Kais really gets a kick out of killing people. That's cool. Never seen any other Fire Warrior get dopamine like that. So I don't know what that means.
His vitals, they peak when he hit that guy square in the chest.
The book itself does a fantastic job at making it so that people don't matter. And what I mean by that is there's always a trope in Warhammer that says if you don't have a helmet on or if you're named, you'll never die. Because it's just like, oh, well, you're the hero. You wouldn't wear the helmet so people can see your face so they know you're a hero. Or like they know your name, therefore you're a hero. It just kind of how the books revolve around stuff like that. The guy that wrote this book thought it would be really funny if I literally named everybody and gave them a paragraph of story before I blow them to smithereens.
Hell yeah.
This is an excerpt from the book. It is a perspective of a Lieutenant Kevla who is defending the planet against the Tau that are currently invading. Lieutenant Kevla sneered as he darted forward, reassured by the war cries of the men hot on his heels. Yes, he told himself, these Tau have made a grave mistake targeting Dolomar. Which was when 20 rounds of burst cannon fire shredded Lieutenant Kevla and his squad in a cataclysm of detonating flesh and half-lived screams. There is no break. That is the end half of a page and a half of story about Lieutenant Kevla.
Bro gets cut off their intro.
A page and a half written about this guy. About he's a lieutenant. He's going to not let them stand on the Emperor's soil. Blown to smithereens, hard cut to Kais in the ship going, oh, the burst cannon's firing. God, humans are really wet when they die. weird.
Oh my god, the wet thing. You told me about the wet thing.
Yeah, so another thing I learned that I didn't know about Tau is apparently Tau are very dry internally. I don't know what that means.
I can't picture it.
I don't know.
Figure it out.
It's very alien, you see?
As someone who's wet.
As someone who's,
I can't figure
as someone
out
who's
the
a wet
dry.
bag. Like, this is how he fucking mentions it. Right here, wherever he's... This is just after that guy gets fucking blown to smithereens, right? After he's just been eviscerated. It took Kai's long, ugly Ronkans to realize the red mist hanging in the air was Guela blood. Somehow he expected them to have water pumping through their moist bodies, fueling their plump pink muscles and sloshing through their vacuous inner spaces. The vibrancy of their fluids was startling. The body slumped awkwardly as the burst cannon shut off, smoke gushing from its barrels rotating slowly and lazily. I didn't know Tau are dry. They're like a turtle. Like, their skin texture kind of looks like that in some art where they have a lot of dried skin-esque texture. I just figured we got to make them look kind of weird and not just blue humans with a weird head gash. So let's make them kind of crinkly looking. Later on in the book, the Inquisitor dissects a Tau and says the exact same thing in reverse, where he's like, oh, the Tau are fucking dry. That's weird. Basically what we're doing now, where it's like, why? How does that work? Why is it not wet in here?
Yeah, I just can't picture, because, like, how dry?
Yeah, like how dry does it matter? Now,
Are they full of dust?
So what I think, it's like cutting into a piece of dry aged steak. You know, it still has that texture of meat, you know?
It's all the density, but none of the wet.
Yeah,
just,
like as if everything's internal.
That sounds awful.
Like it's an internal system where the muscles really don't need that much blood supply, maybe? I don't know. Doesn't matter, I guess, but it's so odd that it just really takes time to mention how dry the Tau are or something. But yeah, no, they do this constantly in the book, where in the next paragraph, it also talks about how, you know, Kai's hits the ground running. It's the first mission that we play where the doors open and that guy gets fucking exploded immediately. In the book, it's Kai's recognized as a sergeant. He's been serving with this sergeant before. He trained with her for years. Immediately gets her head blown off. A round just comes out of nowhere and takes it just clean off. And she's just dead.
Smooth off.
Smooth off. Gave her a name, everything. Like, it's just, it's Kai's recognized the squat physique of Shazla on point, a female named Kethrit, who had trained with him on Tau. The other he didn't know. The pair stepped forward, last fired, knocking ugly chunks out of their armor. Reth's head jolted backwards with a snap, a pale jet of cyan blood hanging liquid and limp in the air before scrawling itself across the trench wall. Dead. Just dead. Just naming people, dead. Naming people, dead. There are a lot of fun little moments, too. In the book, it talks about how Ethereal that we save is getting tortured. In the game, he's fucking suspended by lightning. In the book, he's actually tied into a big, scary torture machine. And the guy...
the Confessatorium or something. Is that what the fuck they're called?
The Confessionorium? Yeah, it's the Confessionorium. Yeah, the Confessionorium. He's in the Confessionorium. And he's getting tortured by an adept. We don't see him in the game, but he's in the book. And Kais fights him. And it is the funniest thing, because the guy is an Admech tech priest, so, you know, science or whatever. And Kais shoots at him. And instead of dodging out of the way, he's like, I'm not quite fast enough to dodge this round that's coming at my head. And then he then does the calculations on where his skull would land, based off the trajectory of how the bullet's going to hit him in the head. And he's right. That's what it says at the end.
He's doing math?
He does math on where his head's going to land. And then his head lands, and it's like, he'll never know this, but he was correct in his calculations.
Who wrote this book?
The guy who wrote this book is Simon Spurrier. He is an author. He's written so much, including, like... he's written Hellblazer for John Constantine, Suicide Squad Blaze, The Flash from 2023, both volumes 2 through 3. There was...
Oh my god, he did Crossed?
Yeah, he did Crossed. That was another one I saw. Some Coda stuff.
Okay, not the original though. Okay.
Yeah, and then some Doctor Strange, and then one of the Uncanny Spider-Mans that's newer. And apparently a very good Star Wars one called like Dr. Ephra or something to that effect, which sounds interesting. I read the synopsis of it, and it was basically, what if Star Wars, but Indiana Jones, but morally gray? Yeah, okay.
There's a lot of Flash on here. Yeah, you know, I mean, not all of them are bangers, but I've read some pretty sick Star Wars comics that I guess harken to the same, like, the books I was reading in middle school and high school, where I just went, man, I sure do love all the Star Wars that has nothing to do with the Skywalker family.
It's so true. There's like a book with Obi-Wan in it when he's a Padawan and like doing.
I love that Obi-Wan book. I know exactly.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, dude. I read that one and I was like, this is awesome.
I love that book.
Let's review all the Star Wars books after this. I'm just kidding.
Oh god, he did two Crossed. Are you familiar with Crossed?
No, I don't know what Crossed is.
That is some demented shit.
I know what it is because I've seen it. I've seen the image of the guy with the burnt-in cross on his fucking forehead, or the lady.
Yup.
I don't know what it's about.
Oh, I mean, all of them do.
Yeah.
It's just the crazies. It's just they go feral, and it's tough.
Yeah, no. So this guy has a big amount of writing props. Not only that, in Warhammer, he also wrote one of the Night Lord books, which are famed for being great.
I'm looking right at that. Yep.
A
couple years later.
Yeah, fantastic books. They put them all in one omnibus, and it's awesome. The Night Lords trilogy is probably the best.
Really?
Oh, it's so good. It's such a good book. In one of the books, it makes me laugh every time because it's very gallows humor in the books throughout.
Okay.
One of the Night Lords they're boarding a ship and they're trying to find a certain section of the ship, like a gunnery deck. People are running away, like running past them and away from them. And they're like, oh man, we're getting turned around the ship. One of the guys grabs a random dude and picks him up and screams at him, where is the gunnery deck? But he accidentally forgot to turn his box down. So he blows the dude's eardrums out. And the guy then pulls out a pistol and fires directly at the Space Marine's forehead. And it then ricochets off his helmet straight into his own forehead. And he just dies.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then all the other Space Marines just laugh.
It's that one kill from Army of Two.
Yeah.
I know you're just doing your job, so I'm gonna ask my partner not to kill you.
Get that out of my face.
What the hell was that?
I barely touched him.
How hard is it for you not to kill somebody?
Harder than I thought.
Yeah.
The guy shoots Rios in the fucking face mask and it ricochets.
This is what he does. He's just like, ugh, damn. And he just throws him to the ground and keeps moving.
Now, are you following a Night Lord, right?
What do you mean?
In those books.
Yeah, you're following Night Lords. Yeah. You are following
Okay.
Night Lords as they just go around and be shitters. It's
Those
pretty
are
good.
Chaos?
Yes, they are
Okay.
Chaos, Renegade kind of troop. I mean, they do Chaos stuff. I mean, they do flay people all the time for funsies.
But more out of hate than, like...
More out of
normal
just,
Chaos
we're kind of
legit.
bored, you know? So they grew up on a planet that was 99% crime rate. And then a Primarch landed there and said, I know how to solve crime. You skin a guy live on TV, and it turns out people don't want to do... Yeah, you skin crime, and people don't want to do crime no more. And it worked.
Hey, it worked on me.
It worked
on me,
amazing. And it wasn't just like, oh, you skin a murderer. He littered. Any crime's punishable. And so that's how he did it. And he conquered the planet.
I love Judge Dredd.
Basically Judge Dredd.
I love the dark judges from Judge Dredd.
Yeah, no, he's basically Judge Dredd, but way scarier. It was
I think,
whatever his fucking name is. I forgot. Not Corvax. No, maybe. No, what the fuck? He's the Night Haunter. I can't remember his fucking actual name, but I know he's the Night Haunter. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now. The actual Primarch. He's dead though, allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
Off screen, so we don't know.
Nah, that motherfucker come back.
I don't know. Maybe dead.
Also, I mean, doesn't the whole Gilliman revival thing make it feel like nobody's dead?
Yeah, I mean, Gilliman wasn't dead.
He was. I thought he was dead.
No,
Like
so Gilliman got poisoned by evil magic poison, and they didn't know how to fix it, so they froze him. And they're like, I don't know, maybe we'll find a fucking cure later. For 10,000 years later, big elf lady came up and said, I'm going to kill him and bring him back to life with my spooky elf magic. And they said, okay. And it worked. So
And it worked.
It worked.
Right.
I mean, he came back. And then, now we have Lionel Johnson, who is the Dark Angel's Primarch, come back. He woke up from his nap.
Dude.
He just was napping.
He woke up.
Yeah, he woke
He
up.
was so tired. He was so
Dude,
eepy.
he's so
He's
sleepy.
No longer eepy.
Listen, his little guys ran out of hot cocoa to bring him. He's like, that's it, I'm up.
He said, sir, we're out of melatonin gummies. He went, all right, I'm back.
So the guy that wrote the book, lots of great books in general. I just found an excerpt from the book that I randomly found that somebody on Reddit was talking about. Like, oh, you know, Fire Warrior has a great little moment in the book. The book gets a lot of hate, but this is awesome. He should have died 100 times over. This Rota. Was there a cost, he wondered? What price he would have to pay for such unnatural fortune? But cheat death too often and there's always a cost, Kai's thought. I've paid the price. I've killed and killed and killed and survived, and all it cost me is my sanity. The butcher demon cocked its head at the tiny thing before it, stretched out a hand and let its bloody aura, its dark mantle of shadow and gore, slip out from its fingers and into Kai's mind. The Montau devil, awesome, came slinking out of its mental shadows. Kai's couldn't resist. His consciousness rolled over. His rationality dissolved away into a bloody mire trickling through it, and he surrendered himself utterly without regret or hope of salvation to the rage. His lips had parted before he even knew what he was saying. The air was rising in his lungs. His tongue formed words without his bidding, and all he could see in his mind was his father staring down from a moral high ground, spewing his expectations and judgment upon the youth before him. Shazla Tao Kais threw back his head, choked on bitterness, and opened his mouth and screamed, "Blood for the blood god." In the book, he straight up kind of falls to corn for a second.
Just gives it. I mean,
I don't think it's ever happened before.
Okay, but so the idea that, you know, oh hey, he's getting that good old adrenaline from the killing here. That's not common among Tau?
No, Tau have such a small soul. Like, legitimately, science-wise, their soul's small.
Yeah.
And so they're not as susceptible to the warp. They're obviously susceptible to the magic stuff. If somebody shoots a lightning bolt at them, they can't unbelieve it.
It just, right.
But like, falling to chaos kind of isn't their thing. I'm assuming it's because I don't know too much about this. I'm kind of making my own educated guesses. I'm assuming the belief in the greater good kind of negates most of what the Chaos Gods have to offer.
Chaos has to offer.
Yeah, because like everything in Tau society is based on the whole and not the singular. So,
right.
You know, because of that,
typical Chaos corruption doesn't really.
Yeah, it's like, you know, Slanesh is pleasure and excess. Well, Tau share everything. Nobody's without. There's not a lot of temptation there. Zeech is trickery and whatnot. There is a caste system, so you can't work your way up. You're born into a role. You don't get a new role.
There is no deceit. There is no backstab. Yeah,
you can't really. You know, there's no real way to do it. You know, same thing. You know, Khorne is you know, could be because they're killing stuff or whatever, but they have their own system of war. Mon Ka and Kayun. Kayun is the patient hunter. Mon Ka is the swift blade. Neither of which is slaughter and
are about the indulgent of the kill.
Yeah, no, it is. You are either the patient hunter or you kill them before they can do anything. You're just like the
I think
swift kill.
Like, Tau's entire design document is we didn't wish to, you know, have to go to conflict, but like circumstances have forced us.
Kinda. You know, kinda. When the Tau came out first, yes. When the so
that's right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry.
Yeah.
When from the jump. Yes.
From the
I know
jump.
Things have changed. Yeah.
So to explain that, Tau came out very early, or not very early, very late in Warhammer's design.
The 90s, early 2000s.
2001 is when they came out.
Jesus.
Yes, they were
the Tower response to 9/11.
The Tower response to Halo, 9/11, and Evangelion, and all those mixed together made the Tau, pretty much. People were very mixed on the Tau because when their lore first came out, they were the upstarts. They were nothing wrong with them. Basically, it was just we're the Tau. We're basically the Covenant from Halo, and we're the good guys. But real chill about it. And then people threw kind of a fit about it, and GW let out more rules or more lore. And it's like, oh, well, actually, the Ethereals maybe have pheromone mind control powers. I don't know.
See, I always love that detail.
Yeah,
that,
it's
like,
just... It's
their society works, but it might just all be a facade. It's all just a lie.
Absolutely. But then, even if it was a lie, it's still drastically better than everything around them.
Oh, it's horrific, but it is ultimately a better product than anybody else.
Yeah, I'd rather be mind controlled than I said the wrong prayer and got turned into a door.
Fed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got turned into food.
Yeah, I'd rather that not happen. The other thing was, anybody can join the Tau Nation. If you are human, though, we are going to sterilize you. That is a thing that happens.
Breeding.
You're not allowed.
Ooh. Do they do that to the other species?
No.
Oh.
They don't do it to the other species, which is the weird bit. They only do it to the humans. Yeah, so, but I mean, like I said in the video, the Tau are based on unity and equality in their caste system. It's kind of hypocritical. People call them communists all the time. Like, that's the shtick. Where it's like, oh, they're communists. They're Japanese communists. Okay. Kind of, I guess. But, I mean, they still have trade systems. Like, they still have, an economy that is within the Tau.
Well, they definitely seem like socialists. And,
yeah, for sure. I would say more socialist leaning than actual, like, communists. Not a lot of people get thrown to the meat grinder in Tau society.
The Kroot, and I can't name any of the other species. Was that always from the beginning?
I don't think the Kroot were. It was.
But the idea that other species worked.
The idea was there. The idea was there. Kroot probably didn't come out immediately. I think Kroot came out the next couple of years. Maybe they did come out. Maybe it was just the Kroot carnivores, which is just their basic battle line troop. Yeah. But the Kroot have always been the same. They may have come out because they acted as like a juxtaposition to the Tau itself, where the Tau were very clean and ranged based, and the Kroot were just the opposite.
Scrappy and melee.
Yeah, scrappy.
Not too much melee, but melee's in there.
Yeah, not really. But they'd eat people. It's like, all right. And another thing why there were like a lot of people that didn't really like the Tau when they first came out. And the reason why, I kind of asked a bunch of people on Reddit to figure out, why didn't people really like them that much? And there were many reasons. One of them was their guns were the best guns in the game for a hot second. 5th edition to about like 8th edition, they probably had the best guns in the game. Their rail guns could kill anything because they're rail guns.
Okay, now see, the railgun in Fire Warrior, that seemed like that was a good gun.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say, we must have had the 8th edition version of the fucking pulse rifle, because that shit was not.
Oh, it was probably scarier in the tabletop. I think that Tau got like a free Overwatch, if I remember correctly. Tau got extra Overwatch. What? So, yeah, so if you moved your units, they got to shoot more times than once. I think there was a stratagem they had, which was, I Overwatch with everything that can see the unit that moved. So if there was like 6 units that could see one guy, I think they were allowed to shoot up to like 3 of them, which was horrendous because I think people would run triple Riptides, which are the big mech versions, and just sit them all next to each other and be like, come at them. I'll fucking kill you. You'll die.
Go ahead. Hey, go ahead. Take your turn.
But what some people were saying was that in 3rd edition, there was a kind of jump pack rule they had that allowed models to hover and reposition instead of charging. So instead of charging, you could move again. So move, shoot, and then move again. Well, most armies didn't do it because it's like, well, then I can't charge. I can't get into melee. I'm a Space Marine. I need to hit things. Tau saw that and went, every single one of my units has a jump pack on it that isn't a fire warrior. All right, I move backwards. You're now out of charge range. I then move forward, and then I shoot you. And then, get this, I move backwards.
Yep.
So super just uninteractive, and just not fun to play against. You get shot off the board. And there's still like weird hate for Tau nowadays. It's kind of odd. When Tau are strong, they're pretty strong. They're pretty good. It's oppressively good because they don't play half of the game. I think is why people don't like it. Because they're not a melee army.
I kind of feel that.
Yeah, so they just walk forward, they shoot you off the board, and their toys take away all your toys. You're no longer playing the game anymore. You're just like, okay, cool, I remove this. And they have the amount of firepower to really make it feel like you're just fucking just watching your models just be burned, basically, in front of you.
Turns out you showed up to a shooting range, or shooting range, basically.
Yeah, and I've played Tau. I have a Tau army, and I have played it. And I've played Tau lists that were just, hey, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to come out of the sky on turn 2, and I'm going to obliterate as much as possible. And if you survive, well, fuck, I think I might just die. You know, and they have units in there that can be annoying. The Ghost Keel is the first one that comes to my head. It is a Titanfall-style mech that can't be targeted unless you're within 12 inches of it, because it has, you know, camouflage, like, armor panels.
Yep.
If you're trying to shoot at it, it's -1 to hit. If you do get damage through, well, no, you don't, because I have 2 drones that I can use once per game, each drone, and 0 out damage. So you hit me with a las cannon, I'm just going to make it a 0 damage. I don't want to take damage from that. You hit me with something big in melee, I'm going to make it a 0 damage. I don't want to take damage from that. And it's just like, and it's good. It's such a good unit. It's not even like bad. It has a great gun profile that just shreds stuff. It has melta-guns on it. It's fast. Moves 10 inches across the board. It flies. So if you get in combat, you can just fly out of it or just shoot into combat, whatever. You're a fucking Ghost Keel. You're a vehicle, so you can shoot into combat. They're great. But I could see how looking at that and playing against it could be the most annoying thing, because I was running 3 of them. And that was horrendous. You put 3 of them on one objective, you're not going to kill all 3. I have 6 ways to blank damage on all 3 of them.
The branding at launch of them being the good boys and everything like that. Yeah.
The good boys and a lot of people...
residual icky feeling towards them.
Yeah, and a lot of people referred to them as the anime faction in the early... You know, they're like, oh, it's the anime faction. It's for the Gundam guys, you know. But, whatever. I mean, even now, I don't know.
I say that and go, yeah, it's pretty sick.
They're awesome looking. I think they look great. They need a little bit of an update for some of their stuff. Like Crisis Suits could look better, but you know, whatever.
You won't hear me complain.
Yeah, no, I think they look nice, and I think some people say that they don't match the aesthetic of Warhammer, which I think is perfect. Because they're supposed to be aliens. They would just look weirder than everything else.
Yeah.
I think it makes perfect sense that they look nothing like anything else, because why would they? Every other faction looks like something else because they're part of the same faction or an offshoot. You know, Space Marines, you have Chaos Marines. You have, you know, fucking Eldar, you have Dark Eldar. I mean, they're just offshoots of one another. And it's kind of just, you know, different looking. You look at Orcs, their vehicles are fucking put together with scraps. Then you look at Necron vehicles, and they're all sleek and weird and magic science. So it's just like, when you kind of look at it at the grand scale, some people say, oh, well, they don't match the aesthetic of Warhammer. They're too clean. It's like, well, yeah, but look at everything else in one big picture. Nothing matches each other in aesthetic.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a terrible gripe.
Yeah, no, I think they look perfect. I think they look fine. Especially their auxiliaries, like their Kroot and their Vespids. Now that the Vespids have been updated, they look a lot better. They look more insecty.
So, I mean, what was it like? I mean, you got into it a bit earlier with controls. What was it like to play Fire?
It was kind of... It was a little boring if I wasn't a fan of Warhammer. Because the gameplay...
That feels fair.
The gameplay is not broken up.
Watching it, there's not anything going on, you know?
No, it was just us watching funny stuff and laughing. Like, them screaming.
Had a great time.
Quiet. Yeah, because we were having fun. We had a group of people watching us play it, and it was fun. But the thought of sitting down and playing this alone by myself, it just sounds awful, because it's such a slow... you're walking down a corridor, you shoot something, you get a key. You go to another corridor, you shoot something, you activate a button, you get a key. You hear the funny guy doing his funny accent, and they're all Chinese. Fun fact: the accents in this game,
did actually get.
They're actually Asian people. They're not a white guy named Jeremy.
I would. It was 2003. It felt like they would have. You know,
it felt like they so would have gotten just an intern to be like, "Hey, listen, we need you to be the Japanese alien. I need you to say Xiaova, but I really need you to put some spice on it." They're British. I don't know why they sound like that. And
yeah, I don't know who that was.
Yeah, you need to put some spice on it. But yeah, no, the game itself is just like so boring from just a gameplay wise. You're just running around and shooting stuff. That's all it is. And I played it on easy. I watched somebody playing on normal.
I didn't even notice. That's crazy.
I watched somebody playing on normal. Oh my god, did they become way more bullet spongy for some reason?
Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad I was like, I'll put it on easy because I really don't feel like going through it and really having to fucking try for this game. Because it's not like you get anything special for beating it on a higher difficulty. So I was like, whatever.
Sure, no.
I still died a bunch of times just from random stuff most of the time. Where it's just like, oh, I fell off a cliff that I didn't know was a fucking cliff. Or I stepped in a hole that apparently just insta-kills you. Or get near a hole. That fucking end boss fight.
You shouldn't look at the hole, dude. You fucked up.
Dude, I love peeking at a little bit of hole.
It's classic. You know what? That's probably gonna be my death one day. You know?
Hey, it will be.
I mean, so you didn't beat it when you were younger.
No. I gave
do you
up
think
when
it holds up to the experience that you had when you were younger, or do you think it was even worse?
I think it was pretty much the same. Because I remember when I quit playing the game when I was younger. Mm-hmm. It was when the commissar came out swinging his fucking chainsaw like an idiot.
Oh god, and the fact that like every other unit in the game does that exact same animation is crazy. Because the commissar doing it, it's like okay, fine, whatever. But then you get one of those fucking raptor marines, and they're doing it too.
Yeah, they're doing the exact same thing. They're still swinging the same.
Ridiculous.
It's awesome. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. The just like the small things where you're just like, why did they do it like that? The bolter feels really good in the game though. The bolter's pretty accurate. It not like actually, because no gun in this game's accurate except for the rail gun because it has a scope on it. But the bolter is like design. It's firing actual rockets like it should be. That's fine. But yeah, no, they're running around with the chainswords. Swinging it is the stupidest shit ever. They're just and they don't have any voice lines. I think it's also weird. Like the commissars never say anything. Did you notice that?
No, the commissars have nothing.
Yeah,
which I don't know because I mean the basic models have 2 voice lines. So I just feel like they started that
guardsmen
and never finished it.
Where it was
yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah.
And then what was the other thing they said was?
They're loud screaming when they died.
Listen, they were giving their all for when they died.
They actually killed that guy. Whoever that was,
he's dead. That was the guy that made Eldar. Or not Eldar. That was the guy that made Tau. They killed that guy live in the booth.
They hit that man with whatever device they ran over Squidward with in that one episode of SpongeBob.
They hit him in the foot with that chair and pulled his toenail out like in SpongeBob. Did you remember that?
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah, well, they pull his toenail out in like one of the episodes of SpongeBob, and that's real.
Man, you just got me fucked up. What are your? I mean, are there other Warhammer games that we might be looking at in the future?
I mean, there could be.
Obviously, none of this is a promise, but I do wonder.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely could be. I don't think there's any like firewarrior though. I think the only ones that I would want to do a review for in the future would be like Dawn of War or Total War. Those would be the only ones.
Those would be you playing.
Because and mostly because they look good and they look like they're fun, and I want to see if they actually don't fuck up Dawn of War.
I have enjoyed what footage I've seen of you playing Dawn of War. That's
Dawn of War is great. The game itself holds up fantastic. It's great because it's an RTS. RTSs really never go out of style when you're playing them. They're pretty easy to play, quote unquote.
If someone said gun to your head to play StarCraft right now, I'd be like, all right.
Fuck it, dude. I become Korean.
As a result of Fire.
As a result of Fire Warrior, I become Korean. I almost did it.
You almost did it.
I almost did it.
You almost did the Stranglehold video.
I almost did it.
I
almost did the Stranglehold video.
Crazy.
I didn't do it though in Stranglehold commentary. That was one of our best friends.
That was the loudest pause. It was the loudest pause.
God, you can call me Bobby Lee the way I was about to say something.
My God. That's the one Korean guy you know?
Absolutely. That's it. Okay. Nobody else. Right. Not a single other person. I'm not going to name any other. Obama. Imagine him in a cute little kimono.
Shut up. Go ahead.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Those are the two games, Dawn of War and stuff that I would review. The older games I might, just as a forefront to the actual new game that's coming out, where it's like, oh, here's the story of the other ones beforehand, except for 3, because we don't talk about that one. And
does 3 have a story?
I don't know. I never played it because
I guess, you know what? We'll figure that out one day, won't we?
Because it's like, I think it's like a hero, almost like a hero MOBA in a weird way, and not an RTS.
Yeah. It's a different genre. That was always the impression.
Yeah, because you had like hero abilities your guys could do, where you're just doing backflips with Terminator armor with the chapter master, or something stupid. I can't remember. It was something silly. But no, the Dawn of War games would probably be the one. There's no really old ones that I don't think I'd review. That would be of any interest because they're just old RTSs or, I don't know, Dark Tide-esque games. Like, that's the only ones I could think of. Maybe Mechanicus 2 when it comes out, when you're playing the Necrons. That would be kind of an interesting one for sure. But it just kind of depends. They're so story heavy. I would
love to. Yeah.
Where you really have to know about it. It's kind of a niche, and even Fire Warrior, I figured that it was such a bad game we could just play it irregardless of the fact that it's Warhammer.
But at least it's also an in and out. That's Mechanicus is not quite.
No, I have to think.
A couple hours.
I have to think about Mechanicus. I'm playing XCOM. I don't think I can just casually sit down and play XCOM real quick. I mean, I will be playing it on my own. But sure. I mean, maybe we do Mechanicus. I don't know when it's coming out though. I think it might be this year. It might be the start of next year.
I definitely think the retrospective based on our childhood stuff is good. I definitely see some titles coming out that that's shit coming out right now that I still think, even if we don't even do like the full playthrough, we could cover, discuss, give people our impressions, even though nobody wants to go fuck.
Absolutely.
Because I look at that Sprawl trailer, and I think
Sprawl looks rad. I would love to be God's hand upon my skull. That sounds awesome.
What the fuck they got going on? That's
pretty sweet. Cool. I think that's all our thoughts about Fire Warrior. Really, it's almost been an hour. Probably cut down to like 40 minutes.
I think that covers the heavy of it. Yeah, I think that covers the heavy of it. I just wanted to give you a good,
absolutely. And if you did listen to this all the way through, why?
Hey, we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. You guys have been watching quite a bit of our stuff that we've been putting out recently. It's kind of crazy. I think the
videos have done better than
the videos have done a lot better than I would have guessed. On top of that, our subscriber count has skyrocketed compared to what it was before. We're at 377. We're about to get to 400.
Oh my god!
We're about to get to 500. Not even sooner than that.
See, I will never be the guy to do the like and subscribe shit. But I will let y'all know 500 is my goal. If anybody's hearing this right now, we hit 500. That's
he won't be,
my quest
but I will be.
Everything else after that. What?
I would like everybody, if you did like this and the rest of our content that we have created, if you can, just comment and like or subscribe. if you feel like it. I don't. I'm not gonna say you have to do it, but it would be nice.
Hey, get in there, talk shit. Guess what? Guess what slur was said? Why we can't put up?
Hey, take a guess at what the accent was. It won't be hard. Think about where that game take place. Pretty easy.
My guess is Brazilian.
Can you figure out who the racist was that did the accent?
I told you it was our special
episode
guest.
100. You will know.
It was a special. We will do the review.
Episode 100. We do the review.
No, we do that shit. No, absolutely. I stand on business right now. Episode 100. We do that shit.
So expect the next video sometime.
Very soon.
Very soon ish. Not too soon. Don't listen. Don't raise the right amount of soon. The next video is taking a lot more time because we are doing more with it than we did with the other ones, kinda. And
that feels like that might be a thing for the next foreseeable future. Is our creativity continues to become our own issue.
Well, yeah, true. And we are busy.
Sorry. Our efforts at creativity.
Our efforts, yeah,
become our own
exactly.
issue.
So our next video should be out next month. That's why we're kind of doing this too right now, is just to be like, oh, well, here's something. Here's a little doohickey you can kind of listen to before we hopefully upload the next bit.
We did discuss, and we didn't want to have the discussion sections become, kind of lost.
Yeah.
To the format, because we weren't doing them the same way we had done video 1, so there was a little up in the air between the two of us if this was. Well,
we had a stranglehold thing, like we said, recorded, but we couldn't release it, so we just kind of skipped it.
Right. It had to go away.
We had to bury it. It is in the Albuquerque desert, buried. Can you find the hidden messages I left to its coordinates? Rewatch all the videos to find out. See, that's how you get them. There's three of them, but they have to rewatch them all. And listen, we need the watch time to go up. All right? We need the watch time. I'm already starting to, get that grind set. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God.